It's Canada Day. I'm going to be sharing my top 15 Canadian bands. Come on in and have a look. Good morning, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. Hopefully a great morning this morning. It is Canada Day. It's also a coffee kind of day. July 1st, Tuesday. Cheers, everyone. I think I might have to move my Canada flag, unfortunately. It's just going to interfere with what I want to show you. So I'll just set that aside. Yes, Canada Day. We are 158 years old as of today. I thought we'd be older. I think we're older, but officially we're 158 years old. Celebrating Canada Day. Also a day off of work, as nothing is really open except maybe convenience stores, Tim Hortons. Yeah, so Canadian music. I've got a ton of Canadian music, and I could have spent all day, which I would have absolutely loved, showing you Canadian music. But I'm going to show you my top 15 bands, which was a hard decision because I've got a lot of stuff. And I've also got a lot of Canadian music here and there in different formats. So this is kind of cool. This is from 1967. This is a 9-album set. Old. I played a couple of them. They don't sound too bad. Canadian folk songs from artists I've never heard of. Yves Albert, Alain Blageron, Louise Forster. So a lot of French-Canadian on here. Alan Mills, Diane Oxner, Jean Price, Raoul Roy. I don't know. But there's a ton of songs on here. And they're kind of broken up into categories. Riddle songs and traditional ballads, legendary ballads and historical songs, romantic adventures and tragedies, love ballads and laments, love's labors lost, songs of courtship and marriage, songs of ballads of the lumber camps, miscellaneous work songs, and sociable and social songs. That makes up the nine albums, and there's 11 artists on this. So it's kind of cool to have, just as has a historical Canadian adventure. I also got a bunch of CDs, 45s. I just dragged out a few. You got the great crooner Dan Hill. FM featuring Nash the Slash. The pop idol Andy Kim. Of course, Bryan Adams. And Corey Hart, Sunglasses at Night. The beautiful Anne Murray. This is Anne Murray as well. You've got Edward Bear, which is a big band in the day. And, of course, Nick Gilder, who sounds like a woman when he sings, to tell you the truth. Then I've got what I call the bookends. These aren't in my rankings, but these are definitely very, very important to Canadian music. The beautiful and talented and amazing Mr. Gordon Lightfoot, who we lost not too long ago. This is a 4 CD set featuring a ton of hits. Mr. Bruce Cockburn, a very underrated guitarist and also singer-songwriter. He's put out a ton of albums, which I have, but I wasn't going to show every one of them. I don't like this cheesy photo, unfortunately, Bruce. Then you have the major bookends, as in Joni Mitchell, who internationally known for sure, as well as this gentleman here, Mr. Neil Young. But all very proud Canadians. Again, they're the bookends of the music industry, in my opinion. And then I've got a couple of, again, Miss Beautiful Anne Murray, who chose to stay in Canada. She was enticed to go to LA, along with everyone else, but she chose to stay in Canada. She stuck to her guns, and she did very, very well successfully. And some country stuff. Mr. Hank Snow. great crooner, Hank Snow. This is a as seen on TV type of thing. So I got a ton, and of course, all the albums I got, all the bands that I've got bands from Montreal, Quebec, all over the map as far as Canadian music. But what I'm going to show today is 15 rock bands, some of my favorite rock bands, and rank them least to favorite. Doesn't mean the least is not my favorite, because I love every one of these albums. But here you go. At number 15, the 5-man electrical band led by Les Emerson from Ottawa, Ontario, which is the capital of Canada. Known as the Staccatos, way back in 1963. I've got an album, actually, half of it's the Staccatos, the other half is the Guess Who. They toured together. They became the 5-man electrical band. They had some big hits in Canada. Half Past Midnight. Absolutely Right, I'm a Stranger Here, which is on this album. Plus their big international hit, Signs. Kind of rock and psychedelic rock. Yes, Signs were the original, was the original song by 5-man electrical band. Not, who did Signs? Who did Signs? They did a great job. Signs. Who did that? Tesla. Tesla did that one. They did a decent job, but not nearly as good as the 5-man electrical band, for sure. That's at number 15. At number 14, the awesome Honeymoon Suite. Now these guys did hit it big in the States as well as, of course, Canada. From Niagara Falls, Ontario, formed in 1981. Niagara Falls being the unofficial honeymoon capital of the world, hence the word Honeymoon Suite. Hard rock, AOR, glam metal, big hits like New Girl Now, Burning in Love, Wave Babies, Stay in the Light, Bad Attitude, Feel It Again, What Does It Take, All You Need to Know. They also did the title track for Lethal Weapon, the first Lethal Weapon movie, which is kind of good. I love that movie. It's kind of cool that they did that. So they became an international hit, these guys. If you don't know Honeymoon Suite, definitely check them out for sure. At number 13, the hard rockin' band Helix. These guys are awesome. Formed in 1974 from Kitchener-Waterloo, which is kind of southern Ontario. Best known for their big hit Rock You, led by the great Brian Balmer. They've toured with big bands like Kiss and Aerosmith and Rush and Motley Crue and Alice Cooper and Whitesnake, Quiet Riot, Wasp. They put out 14 studio albums. They had a ton of singles. Some of them like Don't Hide Your Love, You're a Woman Now, Billy Oxygen, Crazy Woman, Don't Get Mad, Get Even, Heavy Metal Love, No Rest for the Wicked, Rock You, of course, You Keep Me Rockin'. Some great stuff from Helix. Great hard rockin' band, Helix, for sure. Kind of in the same vein as Honeymoon Suite, you've got Loverboy. Think of Foreigner, maybe, REO Speedwagon. Formed in Calgary, Alberta, which is Western Canada, 1979. Arena rock, hard rock, pop rock. They weren't really liked by the American label at first until they signed with Columbia Records. And then they put out their debut album. You got the amazing Mike Reno, who was with Moxie. He was known as Mike Ronsky. You got Paul Dean, who was with Streetheart. I love it. That's another Canadian band I should have shown was Streetheart. Keyboardist Doug Johnson. Bassist Jim Clench. And drummer Matt Frenette, who was also with Streetheart. Streetheart's a great band. I should have shown them. Um, they had 6 Juno Awards in 1 year, making them the highest, one of the highest awarding bands ever in Canadian music. A record that still stands today. You got big hits like Hot Girls in Love, Turn Me Loose, Working for the Weekend, The Kid is Hot Tonight, When It's Over, Lucky Ones. Just a great, great bunch of fun, awesome listening albums. Good stuff. Loverboy. At number 11, no, this is not Rush. This is Mahogany Rush. Frank Marino, Mahogany Rush. Frank Marino from Quebec, 1969. He really idolized Jimi Hendrix, so his playing style is like Jimi Hendrix. They played big, big venues like California Jam. When he was younger, Frank Marino got into LSD and drugs, ended up in the hospital. He needed something to do while he was recovering. Started to play guitar, found out he was amazing at guitar, and he left the hospital, got off drugs, and put together a band, and of course the rest is history. These guys are amazing. Hard rock, blues rock, acid rock, psychedelic rock, all kinds of stuff from Mahogany Rush. Great, great band at number 11. At number 10, one of my hidden gems is Sloan from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Eastern Canada. Formed in 1991. 13 studio albums these guys have released. 9 Juno Award nominations, winning one of them. One of the top-selling 75 best Canadian artists in Canada, and 25 best-selling Canadian bands ever in Canada. Every one of their band members, the 4 band members, share the songwriting credits as well as sing lead, which is rare for a band to have 4 lead singers. Now they are now based out of Toronto. Their music is rock, alternative rock, power pop. They had 14 studio albums. If you don't know Sloan, check these guys out. They're fantastic. You got Jay Ferguson on vocals, rhythm guitar, bass guitar. Chris Murphy on vocals, bass guitar, and drums. Patrick Pentland on vocals and lead guitar. And Andrew Scott on vocals and drums and rhythm guitar. Fantastic stuff from Sloan. At number 9, the great Max Webster, of course led by Kim Mitchell, which I could have shown his solo stuff as well. These guys are formed in Toronto in 1972. Pretty successful in Canada. Never really hit it big in the States, unfortunately. But they toured with a ton of artists, including Rush. Rush was kind of their best friend. Rush helped them out. They actually played on one of their albums. Rush did, Universal Juveniles. Kim Mitchell, of course, went on to have a successful solo career in Canada. The band was inducted into Canada's Walk of Fame. They're hard rock, they're glam rock, they're progressive rock, pop rock. They had a big, big touring gig with Bachman Turner Overdrive and Blondie and Cars, Cheap Trick, Peter Gabriel, Genesis, The Who, Kansas, Ted Nugent. They played all through Canada's markets, all their big headliners, but it was Rush that brought them outside of Canada and introduced them to the rest of the world. They only had 6 studio albums in their career, and I've got every one of them, and they're amazing. They all went gold, one went platinum. Max Webster, High Class and Borrowed Shoes, Mutiny on My Sleeve, A Million Vacations, Universal Juveniles again with Rush on one of the songs, and Diamond Diamonds. Fantastic band, Max Webster. These guys are highly underrated for sure. At number 8, Saga from Oakville, Ontario, which is near Toronto, formed by bassist and keyboardist Jim Critchen and keyboardist and vocalist Michael Sadler. They're also the principal songwriters. Saga has gold and platinum albums all over the world. These guys are pretty famous as far as a successful Canadian band goes. 8 million albums sold worldwide, which is no small feat for a Canadian band. Their music is progressive rock, it's power pop, it's neo-prog, You've got huge singles. It's Time, See Them Smile, Slow Motion, Don't Be Late, Careful Where You Step, The Flyer, Scratching the Surface. They're big hits. On the Loose and Wind 'Em Up. That was my introduction to the band. Listen to Your Heart and What Do You Know. I think they made it big in the States when they opened up for Jethro Tull in North America tour in 1982. They won also a Juno Award for Most Promising Group in 1982 as well. Fantastic stuff. Saga. At number 7, Canada's other power trio, In Triumph. Wow, these guys were top of the charts. They were internationally known for sure. From Mississauga, Ontario, which is south of Toronto, 1975. Super popular in the 70s and 80s. Hugely successful live band as well. 16 studio albums. 8 gold, 9 platinum awards in Canada and the States as well. Group of the Year in 1979 in Canada. Also 85, 86, and 87. Inducted in the Canadian Industry Hall of Fame in 2007. And the Hall of Fame in 2008. And the Walk of Fame in Canada in 2019. Super amazing band. Hard rock, heavy metal, progressive rock as well. 3 staples in the band, plus Rick Emmett had left for a while, so you get Rick Emmett on guitars and vocals. Very high vocals. You got Mike Levine on bass and keyboards. Gilmore on drums and lead vocals. Different style, but they shared vocal ranges together. And when Rick Emmett left, Phil X, great guitarist, joined in as well. And then Gilmore took over the vocals. I love Triumph. So good. They could go higher at any day, for sure. And then you've got kind of the grandfathers of Canadian rock. The Guess Who at number 6. Formed in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Western Canada, 1965. They had huge success in the 70s and late 60s and early 70s, sorry. Burton Cummings, of course, keyboards, lead vocals, guitarist Randy Bachman. They shared writing credits on a lot of their tracks with big hits like American Woman, These Eyes, No Time, Laugh, Share the Land. They've had so many hits. 11 studio albums in their lifetime. Many different members, as Randy Bachman would leave and form Bachman Turner Overdrive, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. 18 studio albums released. Again, big hits like American Woman, No Time, No Sugar Tonight, New Mother Nature. So Bachman wrote, I can't remember who wrote what. Burton Cummings wrote half of the song, No Sugar Tonight. Randy Bachman wrote No Mother Nature, or vice versa. But they were partial songs. They put the songs together and make a big hit out of it. These Eyes, Laughin' Undone, Share the Land, Hand Me Down World, Hang On to Your Life, Bus Rider. It's fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff. Speaking of Bachman Turner Overdrive, at number 5, my 5th favorite Canadian band. This is a box set. I don't have any of their vinyl anymore, but it's got 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 of the studio albums. Their debut, one of my favorites, number 2, Not Fragile, is fantastic. 4-wheel drive, heavy stuff. Then you get into some different stuff, Head On, Freeways, BTO, Street Action. I don't listen to these later albums much. And then Rock and Roll Nights. But those first 4 albums were just fantastic. Again, from Winnipeg, Manitoba, founded by 3 brothers originally, Randy Bachman, Robbie Bachman, and Tim Bachman. Robbie Bachman on drums, Tim Bachman on rhythm guitar, of course, Randy on lead guitar and vocals. And then we got the heavy, growly Fred Turner on bass and lead vocals as well, formed in 1973. 7 top 40 singles, 5 in the U.S., so they made it big in the U.S. as well. 11 top 40 singles in Canada, 6 in the U.S., 6 platinum albums in Canada, and in the States as well. So they were all over the map as far as the States. Let It Ride, You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet, Taking Care of Business, Hey You, Roll On Down the Highway, still playing on classic rock radio. Tim Bachman would leave, and then they would bring in Blair Thornton on lead guitar, who took over Tim Bachman, and the rest is history type of thing. So at number 5, Bachman Turner Overdrive, fantastic band. At number 4, they remastered all their albums. I'm not big on the cover of this one. I like the original. It's a clearer album. Anyway, at number 4, April Wine. Originally formed in Halifax, Nova Scotia in 1969. They would then move to Montreal as their headquarters. Big hits. 3 guitar. At one time, they were a 3 guitar monster band. 3 lead guitarists, by the way. Of course, led by Miles Goodwin, who unfortunately would pass away in 2023. You got big hits like Bad Side of the Moon, which is an Elton John cover. They do a fantastic job of that. I like the original too, but I like April Wine's version. Could have been Lady, Hot Chocolate's big hit. Also, Tonight is a Wonderful Night to Fall in Love, Roller, a heavy rock and roller. I Like to Rock, Signs of a Gypsy Queen, Just Between You and Me. 16 studio albums. They go between hard and heavy rock to ballads. They actually have a ballad album out, or a greatest hits out. The great versatile band that just quite made it big in the States. They weren't as big as they should have been in the States, but fantastic stuff. At number 3, slowly becoming my favorite Canadian band. Where am I losing? I'm losing my mouse here. There we go. This is Arkels. These guys are so good. Alternative rock band from Hamilton, Ontario, against Southern Ontario. Formed in 2006. Only released 9 studio albums, but I love every one of them. Jackson Square, Michigan Left, High Noon, Morning Report, Rally Cry, Blink Once, Blink Twice, Laundry Pile, and Disco Loadout, Volume 1. They've got 9 Juno nominations, and they won Rock Album of the Year for High Noon and Rally Cry, and they were 6 times Group of the Year as well, so no slouch of a band. You got Max Kerman on lead vocals, rhythm guitar, keyboards, Mike DeAngelis on lead guitar and backing vocals, Nick Dicka on bass and keyboards, Tim Oxford on drums and percussion, and Alex Crone on keyboards and rhythm guitar and mandolin. And then Dan Griffin played keyboards and rhythm guitar and backing vocals in 2006. But these guys are fantastic. Arkels, kind of a alternative rock. I don't want to say post-punk. They're just a great alternative rock band. I love their lyrics. Their lyrics are so personal. They kind of get you right in the head and the heart. So good. At number 2, the Tragically Hip. These guys are fantastic. They semi-popular in the States. From Kingston, Ontario, which is about 45 minutes east of here. I love them. They're so good. Formed in 1984. They're still around the area, owning wineries and stuff like that. Unfortunately, we would lose Gord Downey, who died of terminal brain cancer in 2015. You also have, and the band never changed as far as their lineup changed. You got Gord Downey on vocals, Paul Langlois on guitars, Rob Baker on guitar, Gord Sinclair on bass, and Johnny Fay on drums. Kind of alternative rock, roots rock, and folk rock. So good. 13 studio albums, 2 live EP, 2 live albums, 2 EPs, 50 singles over a 33-year career. When Gord Downie, they decided to do a final tour. So they wound up all across Canada and then ended up back in Kingston. And at the time, the Olympics were on, and the major TV station, CBC Radio, shut down the Olympics to film and record this fantastic last concert of the Tragically Hip, because they knew Gord Downie wouldn't be around much. And also, it's one of the few bands that the Canadian flag was flown at half-mast on Parliament Hill. How many bands have that done to them or for them? Amazing career, amazing albums, amazing band for sure. And of course, at number 1, I had to do this. I keep losing my mouse here. There we go. We've got Rush. What can I say about Rush that you already don't even know? Toronto, 1968. I've got their original album, their debut album, which I absolutely love. Neil Peart wasn't on the first album. It was John Rutsey, who did a fantastic job. He had to quit because of diabetes. But the mainstay of the band was Geddy Lee on vocals, keyboards, and bass, of course. Alex Lysum, one of the best guitarists ever, in my opinion, on guitars. And Neil Peart, of course, on drums. What can you say about these guys? Progressive rock and hard rock. I've got all their 19 studio albums. Some better than others, but overall, fantastic stuff. Rush, Moving Pictures, Fly By Night, 2012, Permanent Waves, Moving Signals, Grace Under Pressure, Power Windows, Hold Your Fire, right up to Clockwork Angels in 2012, their last studio album. Definitely my number 1 band in Canada. So I know this was a long one, but hope you enjoyed. Hope you stuck around for it all. And it had to take some time for sure. I just couldn't breeze through this one. Have yourself a great rest of the day. Love you all. If you're in Canada, happy Canada's Day. If you're not in Canada, happy Canada's Day. Have yourself a great day, guys. Love you all. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.